If your brain can change, why does change feel so hard? If attention reshapes neural circuits and repeated experience rewires structure, then improvement should be simple. Focus on better things, practice better thoughts, build better habits. So why doesn't it feel that way? Why does stress return automatically? Why do old reactions resurface even when you know better? Why does growth feel effortful, and sometimes even uncomfortable? Today we're going to look at neuroplasticity from a different angle, not as a promise but as a system that resists. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain clings to familiar emotional patterns, why stress loops reinforce themselves, and why intentional change feels unnatural at first, even when it's good for you. Let's start with something simple. Your brain is not designed to make you happy. It is designed to keep you alive. That design priority shapes everything. The brain constantly tries to conserve energy. Thinking deeply, changing habits, and regulating emotions all require energy. So the brain prefers efficiency. And efficiency means repetition. Whatever you repeat becomes easier. Whatever becomes easier becomes preferred. That is the hidden mechanism behind resistance. The brain doesn't resist change because it's stubborn. It resists change because new patterns are metabolically expensive. Now let's connect this to stress. Stress activates survival systems, releasing cortisol. In short bursts, this is adaptive. But when stress becomes chronic, cortisol remains elevated. Over time, this can degrade tissue in the hippocampus, a part of your brain essential for contextual memory. It helps you remember where you are and whether a threat is real or imagined. When the hippocampus weakens, it becomes harder to form new memories clearly, especially positive ones. And if you can't encode positive experiences well, negative experiences dominate. When negative experiences dominate, the brain predicts danger more often. Prediction drives perception. Perception drives emotion. Emotion reinforces stress, and stress reinforces cortisol. This is how resistance becomes structural. Notice something subtle here. The brain doesn't evaluate whether a pattern is helpful. It evaluates whether a pattern is familiar. Familiar equals predictable. Predictable equals safe. So even if anxiety makes your life harder, if anxiety is your most practiced state, the brain treats it as the default. And the default feels natural. When you try to shift away from that state, your system detects unfamiliarity. Unfamiliarity feels risky, so the system subtly pulls you back. This is not a character flaw. It is a conservation mechanism. So let's say you decide to practice calm breathing or you pause before reacting. At first, it feels artificial. It may even feel uncomfortable. Why? Because you are activating circuits that are not yet efficient. They require conscious effort, which signals energy expenditure. Resistance is the sensation of inefficiency. It's the brain saying this route is not well built yet. Let's go deeper into the biology. Neural circuits that fire repeatedly become strengthened. This is often summarized as neurons that fire together wire together, but here's the part people overlook. Neurons that wire together resist being unwired. Strong circuits don't just dissolve because you prefer something else. They remain available and efficient. So when you are tired, distracted, or stressed, the brain defaults to the strongest available pattern, not the newest one. This is why growth feels inconsistent at first. Attention determines which circuits get amplified, but attention itself is pulled by habit. If you've repeatedly attended to regret or irritation, your brain has built efficient pathways for those themes. They rise into awareness quickly. Redirecting your attention toward gratitude can feel forced. That forced feeling is not evidence of failure. It's evidence of an imbalance in reinforcement. The old circuit has thousands of repetitions. The new one has 10. The brain simply chooses efficiency. This explains something important about identity. Many people say that's just who I am. But often what they mean is, that's the pattern that feels most automatic. Automatic patterns feel authentic, while effortful patterns feel fake. But authenticity is not always accuracy. If you've rehearsed self-criticism for years, it will feel natural. That doesn't mean it's true. It just means it's unpracticed. So how do you work with resistance instead of fighting it? First, expect it. Understand that resistance is just the feeling of building new circuits. It's not personal. Second, reduce the scale. Small, repeated adjustments are more sustainable than large changes. Hold one positive experience for 15 seconds. Take one slow breath. Repetition matters more than intensity. Third, protect the new pattern under low stress before testing it under high stress. A new muscle can't lift its maximum weight immediately, and neural circuits are similar. And here's the deeper transformation. Your reactions are often not spontaneous truths, but rehearsed predictions based on past reinforcement. When you intentionally shift your attention, you are not pretending. You are retraining prediction. Prediction alters perception. Perception alters emotion. Emotion alters future prediction. It's a loop. Resistance exists because loops protect themselves, but loops can be redirected. Over time, what once felt unnatural becomes efficient. What once required effort becomes default. Resistance decreases because the new pathway no longer feels costly. It feels familiar. This is the quiet promise inside neuroplasticity. The brain is shaped by repeated experience, and resistance is not evidence that change is impossible. It is evidence that structure is involved, and structure just takes repetition. In the next video, we'll examine how this resistance mechanism evolves into habits, how repeated loops become automatic routines. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.